Bonjour et bienvenue sur Expérientiel, le podcast qui propulse la transition du tourisme vers un avenir plus durable et inspirant. Ici, on parle d'un tourisme qui bouge, qui innove. Vous vous demandez comment transformer le tourisme pour en faire un vrai moteur de changement positif, plein de sens et d'opportunités? Vous êtes au bon endroit. On va à la rencontre de celles et ceux qui font bouger les lignes. Des pros passionnés, des jeunes qui osent, des experts qui bousculent les idées reçues, tous unis par un même objectif, rendre le tourisme plus responsable, plus inspirant. Ici, on met en lumière des actions concrètes et des initiatives qui changent la donne. Que vous soyez acteur du tourisme, étudiant ou juste curieux, ce podcast est fait pour vous. Alors inspirez-vous, osez agir et embarquez avec nous dans cette aventure. Je suis François Huette, fondateur d'Expérientiel Production. Ma mission, mettre en avant celles et ceux qui réinventent le tourisme et le monde de l'entreprise avec des podcasts écoactifs. Allez, installez-vous bien, prenez une grande inspiration et c'est parti pour l'interview du jour.
Hi there. Ever thought about creating travel experiences that actually matters for people and for the planet? Well, you are in the right place. Grassroots EcoHealth Tourism is an Erasmus Plus program built for young entrepreneurs like you, ready to shake up tourism with sustainability, well-being, and local impact at the heart of it. It all started with the idea of EcoHealth, helping people to connect with nature in a deeper way. But over the last 3 years, it has grown into something even bigger, a movement where well-being, entrepreneurship, and meaningful travel come together. One thing is clear. In today's world, people want more than just another trip. They are looking for the real experiences. You know, the one that brings them closer to nature, immerse them into culture, and help them to reconnect with themselves. And that's exactly what this program is all about. So, you want to learn more about it? Our podcast explores what EcoHealth tourism is all about and why this program is a chance you don't want to miss. I am here with an amazing crew who helped bringing this program to life. Laura from Momentum in Ireland, Mary and Oksana from Futurecast in Ireland, Sarah from Matera Hub in Italy, Margot from the Laba in France, Diana and Robin from Companion in Sweden, me from Defimed in France, and a special thank you to Olivier from OERD in Belgium, who played a key role in this journey but couldn't be here today. Together, we have built something super hands-on and practical designed to give you the tools, the ideas, and connection to shape the future of sustainable tourism. So whatever you are dreaming of launching your own project, curious about making travel more meaningful, or just excited to be part of something new, this is for you. Get inspired to start your own journey and join the movement. So guys, what do you think? The people who are listening this podcast, one of the questions they will ask themselves is, what is EcoHealth tourism?
Grassroots EcoHealth is how you apply holistic health to humans, the environment, and animals, and any, living ecosystem that associates with your business. And that stems into businesses such as sports, events, tourism, food, anything and everything that involves living things. Grassroots is something that is very important, and it's the future of businesses. It has originated from youth, and it will be driven by youth as they are the future leaders. And Grassroots was there to give them the resources they needed to, continue that journey and complete the journey into the future. It will evolve. It will become something unique to young people and unique to the businesses. But fundamentally, it is for the better good for everybody involved in the planet.
I can twist a bit what you're saying, Laura, because I'm thinking that we started this project in talking about eco-health and what is the health. And somehow it's a bit like strange. Why do we have the health concept in that? And that is because we believe that there is a right way, a healthy way of doing things. And in our case, it's the tourist. And tourism nowadays, it's much more than it used to be like 20, 30, 50 years ago. It's much more complex and diverse and an activity. And basically, whatever you do in one life or whatever like personal pursuit you have, it can be connected to some sort of tourist activity. And I think in our case, we started this thinking about eco-health, but I think I would rather say that we are ending it, approaching, getting closer to the well-being concept, which is also a way of doing things, that we have this well-being at society level, which involves so many things and so many directions.
About the fact of the well-being, you say, Diana, I remember when we started this project, the COVID impact was in our life, and the question of the well-being was very important, very central, especially for the youth, especially for this invisible youth that the COVID situation put more in danger than there was at the beginning. So the question of the well-being was very central, and the fact also that we discovered that the decision of making traveling has totally changed in the mind of people. They realized the impact to travel with no eco aspect or with not thinking about how to traveling. So the question of this sensation of how I be as human in my life or in my job of doing that, it's very important and very central in this project, I think.
Personally, I think that this concept of eco-health and well-being is multifaceted and has a double direction. So it's first of all the tourist or visitor or traveler that looks for health and well-being in the experiences she or he undertakes in the destination. Also, it is contributing to the well-being and health of the local environment, local ecosystem, and local businesses and local people. So it's a win-win thing. And this applies to many travelers, which in tourism theories that some people like me studied at university are called normally allocentric tourists, who are those looking for unusual things, also often healthy activities, active things to do. But now it's becoming a trend more and more. There is also a target called LOHAS, Lifestyle of Health and Sustainability, which is very clearly studied target in the tourism industry and in every market, actually. They invented this in Japan as an expression, but it is becoming a growing trend. So destinations and tour operators and destination management organizations should really think about how to address this target and create an offer which is suitable for them or for us. Personally, I'm eco-health traveler normally. So I really enjoyed where each partner took us. So when we went to Sweden, we visited beautiful places run by local social enterprise. And when we went to Ireland, we visited local entrepreneurs, which had very inspiring stories to share with us. When we came to Bordeaux, we went to Darwin ecosystem, for example. When we went to Brussels, we visited local businesses such as permafungi or off the beaten track itineraries, which were very inspiring. So I think that this could be a huge value for young people.
It's interesting about ecotourism track we did in Brussels. It is a big city. And I was so surprised because I didn't expect that we would have that kind of experience. And it was so touching. And it shows that ecotourism for me is accessible and possible anywhere. And if we look at it, the culture of different countries, different places, different region is so widespread and so original and singular that we could do so many things, you know? The other thing that also touched me is that I'm not sure we should be talking about tourism. We should be talking about traveling. And traveling, yeah. And I think that traveling, we don't have to go that far. It's very important. And when we talk about health, at the beginning, I was talking more about sport and stuff like that. But today I'm talking about mental and physical health. It's that society today has difficulties. You know, you see more and more people with burnout and stuff like that. And reconnecting with nature, reconnecting with the people from different culture and learning from each other, I think has real benefit to our health. This program, we've been working 3 years together. And for me, each time that we've been together,
has been beneficial to my health because I've learned from each of you. And also I discovered, like Sarah said, new things. And I was like, wow, this is cool and everything. Oh, they're doing that and so on. So that's what we need, is to keep that intellectual and emotional stimulation. It's very important.
It's interesting what you're saying, Francois. And I think I would like to challenge you a bit on this one, because you said that you would like to speak about traveling instead of talking about tourism. And I would rather like to say that there are two different perspectives here, because when we speak about traveling, we speak from the individual perspective, like the individual point of view. When we speak about tourism, we speak about businesses, and we have this focus on businesses, entrepreneurship in our project as well. And that's why I think it's important actually to speak about tourism and to think about tourism as a business, as a well-being tourism. And we speak about like well-being, like economy.
A lot of this resonates with me. I'm thinking a lot about the discussions we've had about the pandemic and lockdowns, and you talk about the well-being crisis. I agree that we might talk more about traveling rather than tourism, but I understand your point of view, Diana, as well. If we want people to travel more locally to reduce emissions, and then we have to craft unique experiences that people can escape to, explore something entirely new, and to really dive into something where there's some otherworldly experience almost. I think there's opportunity to create a lot of those things for people, and it would do a lot of good. That's, I think, what ecotourism is for me. It could be. It's this really new way of showing the uniqueness we're in Bordeaux now, the uniqueness of Bordeaux. I think we've experienced a lot of that these 2 days. I want to go back to Sweden and do similar things there. See a lot of youth do the same things.
I would stay on 2 points of eco-health. So eco-health from the perspective of one of our target audience, young people who want to start their own business. From this point of view, I think it's about how can they share their own values, putting health as a main value, mental, physical, and how can they share it with their customers? Because you see, for traveler or for tourists, it's experience and they're going somewhere and experience it. But for entrepreneur, it's their life. So eco-health tourism, eco-health business, in this case, it's their life. And it's about how they feel, what they bring on the plate for their customers or their guests, and also the whole approach for running business. Because now, yes, it's kind of trending and popular, talk about eco responsibility, about maybe well-being. Sometimes we just come back ticking box. Oh, let's just put recycle bins in the office, or let's make 1 free hour on Fridays for our staff. But it's just ticking box. It's not about lifestyle. It's not about lifestyle of the owner, lifestyle that they share with their staff. And also, for example, from the Grace experience, the lady who started her own business during Grassroots project. Then I explored her presentation of her business, and I found how many local small companies as a partner here in Leitrim. So I don't know, around 30 kilometers around me, and I've never knew about this. And they are all sharing the same values. And I think it's really great if these people start to cooperate, start working together. And in this case, it's possible to become also successful financially, because anyway, business is a business. We can't do it just for idea and just for the value. We should do it for money also.
I'm fascinated by all the conversation that's happening, and you know, I had something to say and then it changed again because everyone's input was so valuable in learning. But I suppose for me, the whole thing is about the potential of people, the potential of place. And like, if we think about the Grassroots project, we're thinking about helping young people to believe in themselves and have confidence in taking a risk and setting up a business. And what we're doing is, I suppose, putting the tools in place to allow them to maybe successfully do that or not, because we know entrepreneurship has inherent risks and we know a lot of businesses fail in the first year. But at the same time, the amount of learning that's achieved by just taking the risk, following the path, following the framework and seeing where it can take them is in itself like hugely valuable. And then I suppose the byproduct of all of this is that we are including people locally with expert knowledge in business, finance, strategy, etc., right? And we're including them. And as a byproduct, we're creating more visitors to the region. Like Plonge, for example, has a lovely package, the Wellbeing Warrior. I saw another package being offered in Fermanagh, which was very unique. I hadn't seen this before. They were offering yoga in the Marble Arch Caves, which is an underground cave system. A really unique experience. I haven't done yoga in a cave system before, but I'm interested in doing it. So I suppose the thing is, from a project like this, you are inspiring so many people to come up with an idea that's unique, that's different, and that has an offering and is of value to people and is of benefit to their health and well-being. So I think there's just a lot of potential to explore within the locality, but also for the young person to explore their potential and see where it goes.
What would be the reason why someone should go into that program? What am I going to get out of it? Anyone who's listening to this podcast and the discussion we just had and is looking into exploring the program Grassroots, one of the reasons why he should do it is that there are opportunities out there for him. Whatever he's looking for within his life, and it could be connected to ecotourism, it could be connected to anything else. But one thing that would be good is that that person out of that program will come out with something that is important to him. Because the way we build it, there is a global reflection, there is a personal reflection, and then there is a project reflection. And therefore, with the different tools we use, everyone can have something to pick, and it would be useful in his life. So I think the main reason of that program is to help anyone to find a purpose and to give a purpose to his life, one way or another.
I think we had a little lunch earlier on, and one of the colleagues, Amy, brought up a really, really important word. It's called balance. And I think with COVID, there was a huge disconnect. We were disconnected from each other. We were disconnected from our environments. We were isolated. We were in our homes. And Grassroots has taught us how to reconnect our health, physically, mentally, but also the health of our environment. It's all balanced. If one thing isn't right, everything is off balance. So it's how to find that. And I think when we were in isolation, we realized the need that we are no good on our own. We can't survive on our own. And the reason why people should be part of the Grassroots project is because you can connect with like-minded people with the same concepts. You can build on each other. You can help each other, support each other, elaborate ideas, build on ideas. These projects were never meant to be large scale. They were never meant to be huge commercial operations. They were meant to be not just a way of working, but a way of being, a way of living, a way of doing, and a way of being with each other. So I think the whole interconnectedness and balance of Grassroots has taught us how to put all of these pieces together and create something that is a commercially viable business and go back to the old ways where businesses were small, they were manageable and they were achievable. And of course, they were doing something good, not just for the entrepreneur, but for the people who deserved.
That's great, Laura. And I would like to develop what you're saying, to build a bit upon it, because what I was thinking is we say like our Grassroots program, it's mostly like aimed for young people. And it's we want to support young people to find a way, to find a way of finding themselves, to find a way of financing or sustaining themselves or feeling better. first of all, but it's also what you're saying. It's a way of going back to what we are doing things before and rediscovering. And I would say it's an important intergenerational element in the grassroots that probably, or maybe we haven't highlighted enough, but there is there. And that is also a good thing. Why we should look into it, out of curiosity, browsing to the program and see what we can find there, because it really is encouraging this element and this kind of exchanges.
We're highly governed by digital and digitalization. And if you think about this project, through the whole project, we talked very, very little about digital, didn't we? It didn't really come up at all. And everything was about feelings and people and being human and being vulnerable. And the digital toolbox, yes, that's a supplementary, but it was never the highlight of the project. The highlight of the project was the people and the simplicity of the ideas and that they're all achievable. So, yeah, it's huge that, isn't it, to do something that's not digitally focused.
I think this is a great and very unique program. If you want to get into tourism in general, of course, there are university programs and that you can go to, but can learn about all of these things to design experiences to people, and also learn about how to start a business and create business models. And everything's here, specifically designed, and it's flexible for anyone. So I think that's the strength of the program.
What Robin said as well, I think we designed this project in such a way that there was something for everyone. Okay, so the experiences, it can be a piece of paper. You could be out in the middle of the countryside doing your thing and jotting down your notes. You didn't have to be online to do it. When we designed our case studies, we had videos. So we tried to engage people visually as opposed to text. We have our podcast. We're going to get them listening if they don't like reading or if they don't like videos. So we've tried to be as inclusive as possible to appeal to the wider, young people and the trainers and the educators. So I think there's something in there for everyone. Someone mentioned the concept of health, and I wanted to add that in this project, Grassroots, it's like we highlighted the fact that my health is your health and the health of the environment is our health, and it's one health. So our action impact also the environment we visit. The fact is that this project is called Grassroots EcoHealth Tourism. And this word grassroots reminds me that a lot of the experiences that were developed or the initiatives that we visited along the project were really grassroots, coming from people living in peripheries who, for their sense of belonging and will to highlight the good sides of their neighborhoods, which often were stigmatized for some reasons, or also coming from people doing urban gardening, like in the case of Matera. So these were wonderful examples of how citizens can take action and also develop unconventional and engaging experiences. And these are all values that connect with the new European Bauhaus policy, which has in its pillars and values the multidisciplinary approach, inclusive approach, and sustainability, and also multi-level engagement with the local municipality or governors, which is also something that in Brussels they were trying to do by inviting over the Tourism Council representative. This is an example of how grassroots initiatives can become something city-wide, city level.
If you don't mind me saying, Sarah, you've touched on something really important there. We weren't creating something new. All of these businesses tapped into a weakness or a gap in their environments that they wanted to improve. We're not creating a new technology. We're not inventing something. We're actually just tapping into our existing resources and using them for the better of everyone and for the better of the resources. So we're actually not wasting, we're actually using in an optimal way.
All right, you got it. Grassroots EcoHealth Tourism is not just about travel. It's about creating real, meaningful experiences that make a difference for people, for community, and for the planet. From Sweden to Ireland, Italy to France or Belgium, young entrepreneurs like you are shaking things up, putting well-being, sustainability, and local impact at the art of tourism. And honestly, the projects coming out of this are seriously inspiring. So, got an idea? A passion for responsible travel? Maybe even thinking about launching your own project? Then this program is made for you. Grassroots is here to support, guide, and connect young changemakers across Europe, no matter where you come from. If you are ready to turn your ideas into action, you are in the right place. So what's next? Well, it's easy. Join the program, bring your project to life, meet awesome people, connect with a community of change makers, shape the future of the tourism, because the world needs fresh ideas, and yours could be the next big thing. Ready to start? Check out our website and jump in.
Et voilà, c'est déjà la fin de cet épisode expérientiel. On espère qu'il vous a donné envie d'agir, de réfléchir, ou simplement de voir le tourisme autrement. Si ça vous a plu, partagez-le autour de vous, parlez-en, ou laissez-nous un petit commentaire, ou des étoiles. Ça compte beaucoup pour nous. On se retrouve très vite pour de nouvelles rencontres avec celles et ceux qui bougent les lignes et font du tourisme une vraie force positive. Merci de nous avoir écoutés, prenez soin de vous et surtout, restez inspirés.